Police are on the lookout for the driver responsible for killing a woman on the west side.
And a judge in Indiana could make two key decisions today in the murder case of two girls in Delphi.
Plus, millions of travelers are kicking off Thanksgiving travel today. We're live from Chicago's big airport as we you this morning.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
You know, I see that airport shot, and
You want to go somewhere?
I don't want to go.
You
there.
don't want
to deal with that. I'm good.
You want to stay far away.
Buddy, good to be with you this morning. I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. Chopper 7 is over some breaking news right now, so let's get straight to Roz. Roz.
Yeah, we're talking about an extra alarm, a 2-alarm fire in the Logan Square neighborhood north of Bloomingdale. It's a very smoky fire, as you can see from Chopper 7, as they remain over this. They've been over it for a good hour, but fighters fighting it defensively. The building, long closure on Sawyer from Wabansie all the way to Armitage, and some of the cross streets also have equipment parked on them, including Bloomingdale, Cortland, so on and so forth. So it's a very large area. We did hear that there was one injury, possibly a firefighter. Do not know the extent of those injuries. We do know this is still a very active scene, even though we're seeing more smoke than flame. As far as the rest of the road, the expressway, we can come back to the maps, averaging about 35 minutes for those travel times, and we have one new suburban crash in Addison at Lake Street and Swift. In the meantime, let's check in with Tracy and see if there's any weather conditions that might be affecting the firefighters out there.
You know what, Roz? It is cold. We've had a very frosty start to our day. We don't have any strong wind gusts reported, so that's some good news. But we are still dealing with temperatures in many cases below freezing and some well below freezing this morning. We have 30s at O'Hare and Midway, but only 23 in Zion, 28 in Whiting, 34 degrees at Northerly Island, but it's 22 degrees right now in Morris. All look at a quiet weather day that will be filled with some sun. Our official high temperatures today should get up around 50 degrees here this afternoon. And tomorrow we will also be hitting 50 degrees. Val and Terrell.
All righty. Tracy, thank you so much. This was breaking overnight. A woman was killed in West Parkway.
This morning, police are working to find the hit-and-run driver responsible. Diane Pathew is live at CPD Major Accidents at 18th and State with more. Diane.
Val and Terrell, this morning we have just learned the identity of the woman that was hit and killed last night. Police also have released a photo of the vehicle. Take a look. They say that the driver of this tan-colored 4-door older model Jeep slammed into 42-year-old Monica while she was crossing the street in the crosswalk in the 900 block of South Pulaski after 8 last night. Investigators say the driver was heading southbound, hit Eason, and just kept going. She was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. At the scene, officers were combing the area for evidence, including a shoe left in the crosswalk. If you have any information on either the vehicle or the driver that may have been involved, give police a call. To you.
Thank you. A judge could make two important decisions.
The other, the suspect's freedom. Trey Ward is here with more. What to expect in the courtroom today, Trey?
And Terrell and Val warning, despite the arrest and initial court hearing for suspect Richard Allen more than 3 weeks ago, the evidence that led police to arrest him is still a secret. Last month, Indiana State Police arrested the 50-year-old man in connection with the murders of teenagers Abby Williams and Olivia Dermott. Their body found near a hiking trail in Delphi in 2017. But even before his arrest, Carroll County prosecutor. Investigators have since declined to release details as to what led to the arrest and just how the girls were murdered. Now today, a judge will decide whether to unseal the probable cause affidavit and charging information. All of this coming as the suspect is asking for the court to either reduce his bail or release him on his own recognizance, claiming prosecutors don't have enough evidence to prove his guilt. Back to you guys.
Trey Ward. Trey, thank you so much. Want to get to the latest from the deadly at a nightclub in Colorado Springs. We're hearing from the Army veteran who potentially saved dozens of lives that night.
Authorities expect to formally charge the suspect with murder and hate crime for each death. ABC's M. Nguyen has the very latest, and she joins us live now from Washington.
Val, the suspect prior record for making violent threats against his mom. Despite that, law enforcement officials say he was still able to make a legal purchase of a semi-automatic rifle after that previous case got dismissed.
This morning, U.S. Army veteran Richard Fierro speaking publicly for the first time since police credited him for taking down the gunman inside Club Q in Colorado Springs, potentially saving dozens of lives. He was with his wife, daughter, and friends Saturday when shots rang out.
I saw him and I went and got him.
His combating in Iraq and Afghanistan kicked in.
Pull a dude down, pin him against the side, and just started. I think he went for his pistol. I don't know. Either way, I grabbed the pistol from him.
He told another patron to grab the shooter's AR-15.
I just kept wailing on him. And I told the kid in front of me, kick him in his head. One of the walked by or was running by, and I told her, kick this guy, kick this guy. And she took her high heel and stuffed it in his face or his head or whatever she could hit.
A hero in the eyes of many, but not in his own. His daughter's boyfriend, Raymond Green Vance, among those fatally shot.
I could not help, and one of which was family to me. I'm not excited. That guy is still alive, and my family is not.
The two suspects, Anderson Lee Aldrich, facing murder and hate crime charges. He's seen here in an arrest last year with his hands up, taken into custody for allegedly making bomb threats against his own mother. Sources telling ABC News that case was dismissed because the family refused to cooperate.
The suspect was due in court Monday, but the DA tells ABC News his injuries were so significant he had to stay in the hospital. As for one of the victims, the Denver Post reports 22-year-old Raymond Green Vance, who was mentioned in that story, was born in Chicago, though spent his whole life in Colorado Springs. Terrell?
Yeah, still so sad. M. Wynn in Washington this morning. M. Thank you. Today, a judge is expected to rule in the case of a Chicago police officer who shot him at the Avenue Red Line station. Melvina Bogard has pleaded not guilty to charges of aggravated battery and official misconduct. She's accused of shooting Ariel Roman in February of 2020. Officers said they were trying to arrest him for walking between train cars. This is new, a relief opportunity for some families affected by COVID. The city of Chicago is launching 2022 Chicago Resiliency 2.0. The Direct Cash Assistance Program is designed to help Chicagoans who may have been let go. It's available for caregivers of adults or households with adult children. If you claimed adult dependents on your 2019 taxes, you can apply for this before December 9th. And you can find the address on our website, ABC7Chicago.com.
Happening today, award-winning poet Sandra Cisneros returns to Chicago. She is reading from her first book in 28 years. The book, Woman Without Shame, is her first collection of poetry to be published in Spanish. Cisneros, who is from Chicago, will appear at a sold-out event tonight at the Field Museum. Islamic Relief USA is giving away turkeys today for Thanksgiving. The organization will hand out 600 turkeys at the Rohia Culture Center on West Devon. Now that is from 10 until 2 or while supplies last.
A suburban food pantry is closed this morning just days before Thanksgiving. It's because of a small but devastating fire. This happened at the nonprofit Together We Cope in Tinley Park, and now organizers are trying to find a way to still serve families in need for the holiday. ABC7 Kieran has more.
The head of Together We Cope says this will not stop their mission to help others. Already, the organization has seen an outpouring of support to help them continue the work they do every day.
Unless it was these two.
A small fire inside the Tinley Park nonprofit organization shut down the kickoff to their annual Thanksgiving food distribution to families in need.
Nothing could go out of here, nothing can come in, and that was hard.
Catherine Straniero, executive director of Together We Coped, arrived to see smoke coming out of the building on Oak Park Avenue and 160th Street.
I want to say it was devastating, but it actually just knocked the wind out of me.
This all happening just as families were showing up to pick up what would have been their Thanksgiving meal.
It was hard for staff to be turning away when they're so used to here to get it and to tell them no. It was very difficult for them.
The nonprofit says the fire started in a sorting room inside the resale shop. Sprinklers contained the flames but left behind extensive smoke and water damage.
The water kept pouring out, and unfortunately everything is soaked.
Now the majority of the food slated for thousands, along with donated items that were for sale. But Straniero says the plan to help the 27 communities they serve will continue.
we're actually not stopping.
No.
We're just reconfiguring. We'll be stronger and better because every time something like this happens, that's when we do our best work. And we have such great people surrounding us.
If you would like to help or donate to Together Hope, we'll have a link on the site. That's abc7chicago.com. In Tinley Park, Kate Kogirin, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. Well, you're live. Here's a look at here right now. It's busy travel season because Thanksgiving's around the corner. You're live in local news, just getting started, and we're streaming out loud this morning. Coming up, the new terminal is coming to O'Hare and how that expansion will streamline the passenger experience.
So Tracy AccuWeather forecast on a really beautiful Tuesday morning. The pictures we've been looking at this morning. Look at that sunrise. And we got nice temperatures coming up today, too. We'll talk about it with Tracy next.
Well, hello there. Happy Tuesday to you. And what a beautiful start to our day, but a very cold start to our day. We have built up a very thick frost in some places this morning. 19 degrees in Aurora, 18 in Pontiac, 25 degrees right now, so 23 in Waukegan. So yes, we are off and running with mighty cold numbers. In fact, let's go around a bit. 29 right now, Norridge, Highland Park at 25 degrees, Crystal 28. Get to Glen Ellen, it's 26, Westmont at 27, Burr Ridge right now at 22 degrees, 27 right now in Frankfort, 22 right now in Peatone, and 24 in Hebron, Indiana. Today, those high temperatures, we'll get that frost melted. 50 this afternoon. Then tomorrow, guess what? It's 50 degrees again with plenty of sunshine coming our way here tomorrow. We'll go for 50s again here on Thanksgiving Day. The afternoon will bring us some scattered light rain here on Thursday. Good looking day Friday. The weekend, some showers will be possible at times. Roz?
We're looking at pretty decent conditions on the expressways. Again, a lot of folks leave in the afternoon, or they already left yesterday, because we're only looking at 35 minute travel times. Now, if you are traveling out west on I-88, we do have a vehicle fire. This was a truck fire westbound near Illinois 251. It was carrying 78,000 pounds of garbage, and as a result, they shut down I-88. In fact, you can see it on our tollway camera. They're forcing it off at Illinois 251, and it is causing a bit of a backup there. This is a little west of Interstate 39 near Rochelle. So just if you're going to be traveling, be aware of that. It's been out there for a while. Now, I also want to talk about O'Hare and Midway and any of the delays at the airports, because the delays themselves are rather minimal. I know we had a crew at O'Hare, and 10 to 15 minute delays max on any flights. No cancellations at this point, but we do have updates, at least for O'Hare. If you're going to be standing in line at the TSA, and yes, you are, because everybody has to, it's up to 15 to 30 minutes you're going to be spending in those TSA lines, unless, of course, you have pre-check. So you're going to need a lot of time. You're going to stand in line to check in, stand in line to get on the flight. Fortunately, no big delays on the flights themselves. Val and Terrell.
All right, Roz, thank you. Well, a live look inside of O'Hare Airport right now, and it has been busy all morning long with all of this Thanksgiving travel between today and Monday. The city says it expects to welcome about 1.7 million travelers at both O'Hare and Midway. That's up 7% from last year. Airlines expect Sunday will be the busiest day. And speaking of the big airport, O'Hare's $7 billion expansion project is cleared for takeoff. The FAA now signing off on the plan to replace Terminal 2 with a global terminal linking domestic and international flights in one location. This big to the Chicago area.
Thousands of passengers go through O'Hare Airport every day, and for a rare crowd like Cameron Harold, O'Hare is one of his least favorite airports in the world.
This place needs a huge upgrade, way better restaurants, way better facilities. It's ready.
And the city is ready. The FAA cleared the way for the next big phase of modernizing the airport, and demolishing Terminal 2 and replacing it with the state global terminal, doubling the amount of space in the existing terminal.
The terminal area plan in particular will improve the passenger experience with updated facilities and amenities, reduce air taxiing times and wait times for gates.
The overall airport plan is to integrate all of O'Hare's terminals in order to improve international and domestic connections.
Terminal 5, the final months of a $1.3 billion expansion and renovation project, has already opened 7 new gates this summer, with another 3 gates coming online in the months ahead.
The terminal will be completed this year, but the demolition of this terminal and the construction of a new one will not begin until 2024 and is expected to be completed 7 years later. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg was in Chicago, and while the focus was on O'Hare's future, Buttigieg knows travelers are thinking about this week. He says the system is in much better shape than it was last summer when there were so many cancellations.
When it gets as high as 3 or 4%, which is what we saw in the summer, that is enough to cascade through the system, and it can take days to recover. Right now, we're seeing it closer to between 1% and 2%.
Buttigieg says his department will be watching the holiday travel season closely and making sure the airlines do the right thing when it comes to customer service. At O'Hare, Sarah Schulte, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Still streaming this morning, the plan to build dozens of electric vehicle charging stations in underserved communities in Cook County. Consumers and state fairs stocking stuffers. A holiday sale on passes to this year's attractions.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
Cook County is planning to install electric vehicle charging stations in underserved communities. County Board President Tony Preckwinkle announced that $5.5 million in funding will go to build up to 75 stations throughout suburban Cook County, especially in communities on the south and west sides. The county is asking for public input on the best locations to build these EV stations.
The holiday sale is on for discounted passes to the 2023 Illinois State Fair. Now through December 31st, mega passes will cost $60. Jumbo passes are discounted at $70. The cost of both passes will go up in January and then increase even more in August. You can buy passes on the Illinois State Fair's website or by mail or by phone. For more information, you can find it all on our website, ABC7chicago.com. Take a look at this video. It shows the moment a plane hit a flock of birds, and it made that plane turn around and land at Midway. And a high-ranking member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff was on that plane. General Hogan was forced to spend the night in Chicago.
This morning, incredible of a flock of birds hitting a military plane carrying a high-ranking official. The C-37 twin-engine aircraft with U.S. government markings on the fuselage was forced to return to Midway Airport yesterday, only minutes after taking off.
So we're going to be coming back. We just took a bunch of birds on takeoff.
On board the plane, America's top National and Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Daniel Hokanson, who earlier in the day was at Chicago State University speaking with students who are part of the ROTC program. The general also met with business executives before heading back to Midway for what was supposed to be a routine flight to Washington.
Report of on departure.
Birds surprisingly are rising share of mishaps at airports. We're seeing all the technology we're deploying doesn't seem enough to keep creatures away.
Just last month at O'Hare, a Miami-bound United flight made an emergency landing after hitting a bird moments after takeoff. An engine caught fire, but fortunately no one was hurt. At Midway, that C-37 is now being inspected, and sources tell ABC7 General Hokanson spent the night in Chicago and will once again try to fly out this morning.
Well, right now, they're scary.
Midway, like, are the birds around anywhere? Scary stuff. Yeah.
All right, now we're going to Good Morning America viewers. Tanya's going to have a news update on TV. In just a bit, you'll see.
Yeah, and when we come back, consumer investigator Jason Knowles has information to help you avoid falling victim while donating this holiday season. That is all on the way.
Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning at 7:23. I'm Tanya Babich. We now know the name of a woman who was killed in a hit and run in Chicago last night. She has been identified as 42-year-old Erica Eason. This morning, police released this surveillance photo of a tan-colored older model Jeep to be believed to be involved in her death. Investigators say Eason was crossing the street around 8:30 last night in the 900 block of South Pulaski and West Garfield Park. Eason died later at Mount Sinai Hospital. If you have any information about the vehicle or driver, you're asked to call police. Let's get a check of our ABC7 AccuWeather forecast now. Here's meteorologist Tracy Butler.
Good morning, everybody. And we are starting off with some pretty cold, frosty numbers this morning. 19 St. Charles and McHenry, 19 in Pontiac, 24 in Bradley, 25 in Maryville, and some 30s out at O'Hare. And this afternoon, though, I'll take the edge of that chill, and we'll get high temperatures today around 50 degrees. Even tomorrow, we should be up into the 50s. And even on Thanksgiving Day, we're going to see those high temperatures popping out in the 50s. Quick break, Roz, after this.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's rest. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Welcome back. We're following breaking news in the Logan Square neighborhood. Sawyer, North Bloomingdale. The fire turned out to be a deadly one. Take a look. Chopper 7 was over it earlier this morning. This 3-story structure fire. One firefighter suffered minor injuries. A civilian was killed. The fire itself was elevated to a 2 alarm. It has been struck, but they are still working with cleanup, and there are still many streets blocked in the areas. I want to quickly come back to the maps because we've got 35 to 40-minute travel times on most of the expressways, and we've got one new suburban crash in Winfield at Roosevelt and Winfield Roads.
Lord have mercy.
Ask them. Call on them. It's things.
COVID. Yeah, you ain't like no party on TV.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Right.
It's too late.
You know, sometimes we can hear you guys coming in and out of commercial breaks. I said, that's intentional. We kind of want to give you an ear and to hear. And, you know, you got the eye, but, you know, like what happens
What's
on the
behind
real
the
reel.
scenes. Exactly. Right. And Laura, sometimes these conversations.
Yeah.
Better than the news. So, you know, the end of the year is typically when we see many charities asking for your donations.
That's right. And while there are many great causes out there, there are also some scammers out there that you have to be careful of, trying to take advantage of your willingness to help others. Consumer investigator Jason Knowles has the quick tips on how to avoid charity donation scams.
Hi, everybody. Here's a quick charity tip. It is the giving season. However, there are some tips to know so you can avoid falling victim while donating. You can avoid charity donation scams with these tips from Be Generous, an online platform which helps people donate to nonprofits. First, do your research. Before donating, make sure to confirm that the charity you are donating to lists in the IRS database. Additional information can also be found on websites such as Charity Navigator and the BBB's Give.org. Vet the charity. Check the charity's website to confirm that they have posted their 990, which is an annual financial disclosure form providing additional information about how the funds are being used. Research the charity leaders. Do some research on the executive director of the organization and ensure that they're a real person. LinkedIn to ensure that they are actively promoting their fundraising campaign, and check for previous employment history. Jason Knowles, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Legal advice, Jason. Thank you. When we return, doctors have released an update on comedian seriously burned while working on one of his classic parts.
And more on the road to recovery for comedian Sinbad. It's on the way.
You're watching ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7, streaming live now.
We'll be watching for you today. Developments are possible today in the Delphi murder case. Lawyers for the accused killer have requested a bail hearing. Richard Allen is in jail right now, charged with 2 counts of murder in the 2017 killings of 14-year-old German, 13-year-old
Today, a judge is expected to rule in the case of a Chicago police officer who shot a man at the Grand Avenue Red Line station. Melvina Bogard has pleaded not guilty to charges of aggravated battery and official misconduct. She is accused of shooting Ariel Roman in February of 2020.
Award-winning poet Sandra Cisneros returns to Chicago today. She's reading from her first new book of poems in 28 years. The book Without Shame is her first collection of poetry to be published in Spanish. Cisneros, who is from Chicago, will be at a sold-out event tonight over at the Field Museum.
28 years. I know. 28 years out of anything.
Yeah, I know. Beautiful, looking good. Good morning, everybody. Bottom of the hour. We're going to be with you tomorrow.
We are going to take we are in for a treat today. But I'm going to call it Treat Day from Tracy.
Oh, yeah. Or it's a trick day from Trixie.
Ooh, I like that even better.
Is it a treat or is it a Trixie?
It's a treat day, except this morning is kind of a trick because I know all this, talk about 50 degrees. We are not anywhere close to that just yet. We have had a very thick, heavy frost this morning. It is a cold start to our day, but our high temperatures this afternoon will head up around 50 degrees. And we have some real nice sunshine out and about out there right now, too. And good news this morning, it's not that windy. Now, tomorrow, I think it's going to be even warmer with high temperatures tomorrow headed up into the low 50s. Roz?
Volume out there on the expressways. Our travel times are up to about 35, 40 minutes in some cases between the tri-state and downtown. Tollways, though, are in good shape. We don't have any major delays. No new crashes and streets. And of course, we are keeping very close the fire had on the northwest side of Logan Square. It turned out to be a deadly fire. One firefighter was injured. It is on Sawyer, north of Bloomingdale, but they still have a long stretch of Sawyer shut down with the ongoing cleanup and investigation. Basically from Wabansia all the way north to Armitage. It was a 211, a two-alarm fire at one point. It has been struck, meaning it's under control. They're going to be out there with the investigation for some time, and we'll keep you updated as we get more information. Val and Terrell, back to you.
Roz, for today's we're going to start with news on Sinbad. His family says he is fighting for every inch as he learns his way to walking again 2 years after a stroke. Sinbad posted this picture on Instagram. This is the first update since his medical emergency again 2 years ago. On Sinbad said he appreciates all of the love and the support shown to him during his recovery. The comedian is recovering from a stroke that he had in November of 2020. Remember, that was towards the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And to think 2 years without your step.
Yeah. I haven't seen him in a long time. And then to see him like that, it's tough. You think of Sinbad, the big, larger-than-life personality, that big smile. He was on Windy City.
A lot of times. He was, I wouldn't say, look at him.
Look at him right there.
Band. He would come when he was promoting shows. You're right. Large, bigger than life, kind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A funny soul, an honest soul, and just was like the kind of guy that would stay around in the studio after his segment was over, into the commercial breaks, interacting with the audience.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, just a big old teddy bear. So,
is he from Chicago? I feel like I feel like
is Sinbad from Chicago?
What's wrong with Siri?
Seriously, I didn't get that. Could you try again? What good are you?
There's nothing to repeat.
Listen, he's from Michigan.
I only asked because I thought I saw him. I swear I saw Sinbad
Just
in a
out and
Range
about?
Rover on Lakeshore Drive one day. I swear. Okay, it was right away. Probably
He's faster than that, but yeah, there he is with Ryan and his 2-minute warning.
Yeah, we wish him well.
You know what? He married his wife twice.
Oh, was it one of those?
Yeah.
So he's like separated.
Yeah. I love like with me. You know, all the things and
remember
a long career. I remember that being like,
really cool. I like that movie of his first kid. He's he's a Secret Service agent looking after the president's son.
Oh,
You
I
remember that
haven't
movie?
seen that. I'll have to check that out.
Gosh, it's one of those like classics from back in the day of him. But wishing him well and wishing his family.
Yeah,
to
speedy
get through
recovery.
this. Yeah. Want to get to Jay Leno, and he's after those severe burns during a gasoline fire. He spent 10 days in a Southern California burn center. He had burns to his face, his chest, his hands. During this fire at his home garage, he thanked fans for all their well wishes too, and he's spending Thanksgiving. I heard about this, I read about it, and oh Lord, what are we going to see?
Right. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, especially.
And that was the picture right there of him after the burns with the nurse, right?
Yeah, which actually isn't. So, I mean, I know it's bad, right? And I mean, you're talking second-degree burns, but I still see Leno's smile, right, after burns, and so that's at least encouraging.
The configuration of his face is still there. You know it's him. Yeah, just the road to recovery. And I even heard that he was like out passing out sandwiches and cookies and things in the hospital just to get. Now, I've met Kim once.
Did you?
He was kind too.
Oh.
I love, you know what the thing about it is, we're in the business where we're going to meet a lot of these people, right? And you have watched them, you know, your all life growing up or whatnot. But if they are different than how you want them to be, it's such a letdown, right? So for people to live up to what I imagine them to be in real life, not on TV, but to be that way in real life is
it's amazing.
Rewarding.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's boy, nice. I got some. I know you have stories too of the people that you've run into who
Did you
weren't.
see that roll?
Oh, I saw it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have the list too of people who are not who you think they are.
We got to get the piping hot tea on that one.
I don't have any.
One of those.
I don't have any tea today. But I got that pinky. Oh, I cannot put that pinky with this pink.
Oh,
Lord!
Did something just happen?
Because I have them pink, and that's what the AKAs do.
Oh.
And I'm sipping some tea, but that's what I'm not doing.
You can't do that.
No, I cannot do that.
Okay. All right.
And I know better. I'm an AKA mommy.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So last season, won't say last season because there's going to be
that a fraud?
Right. So we actually know there's going to be another season. So it's not the last season of Dancing with the Stars, but it was the season finale, season 31, Dancing with the Stars, came down to a TikTok star and a bachelorette.
So you mean to tell me Wayne? Okay, let's just look at this package from George Pinocchio with the show's new champs.
Charlie and TikTok star Charlie D'Amelio and her partner Mark Ballas are the new champions of Dancing with the Stars.
Do you feel like a champion?
I don't even know how I feel right now. I'm just, oh my goodness. It's really everyone that voted, and that means that the dances, you know, they made people feel something.
This is Mark's third time winning.
I just felt like we were locked in tonight.
Like Charlie and Mark, Bachelorette star Gabby Windy and Vaush Murkowski also got perfect scores from the judges for their two dances, ending the season in second place.
I was always just so grateful to be here and so excited to step foot on this floor each and every time, and I'm so glad the allure never wore off.
If you end on such a high note and get validated by the judges, there's nothing we can do that, you know, everything else is out of our hands.
Entertainer Wayne Brady and partner Whitney Carson got third place. Shangela and Gleb Sevchenko took fourth.
I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, looks so hot.
Oh, look what I've done.
For their freestyle number, Gleb was transformed into a drag queen to honor his partner. Shangela leaves this competition feeling personal victory.
I honestly feel like if I don't have off my hand, I'd definitely want it.
Cheryl Burke dances a pro in the show, but with head judge Len leaving, you know there is a
Absolutely. I call the shots.
Would you be open to it?
They know very well that it would be yes. They do. It's not up to me, unfortunately, but I hope that they want that. If not, that's okay. I'm so grateful for this experience, really.
Dancing with the Stars will be back for season 32 next fall. In Los Angeles, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
Okay, I got to bring in squad for this one. Tracy and Roz are here with us. Okay, who wants to go first? Because I feel like, Tracy, you want to go first?
That's fine. First of all,
oh, Trixie's here.
Right?
well, I love
Like
that
it.
George doesn't shy away from any question, asking Cheryl Burke. So you want Len's job?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
She should get it.
absolutely.
She really should.
She would be great, I think.
Well, she obviously is experienced and know what's to look for, right? What to look for. I don't know. I'm just very ho-hum about these results. Like, okay, whatever.
Same. Okay.
And Roz had forked it. Brady, the whole time. Roz, are you disappointed this morning?
Of course I'm disappointed. You know, but it is what it is. It's the people who call in and vote, or, you know, and of course I didn't vote, so I nobody to blame but myself. But I really wanted to see him win. He was so fabulous.
Yeah. I just feel like it was so predictable, right? I mean, Charlie's been doing well all season long, and I mean at the very top all season long, and then time for the finale, and then guess who wins? Charli D'Amelio. You know, you just kind of knew it was coming. But congratulations to her. I mean, I asked Tracy earlier if she has any dance experience, because I mean, this is just fabulousness out of nowhere for somebody that has never stepped into a ballroom.
Yeah,
Right.
she looks great.
Yeah, she knows exactly
very
what she's
comfortable.
doing. Yeah, so it's right here. Charli D'Amelio and Mark. Bruno declared Charli as the queen of jive and said she was as good as he's ever seen.
Well, I mean, if this is the dance, if this is the jive right here that he's referring to, right, that looks marvelous.
It's solid, right?
That explains why she's the winner.
Yeah, 40 out of 40, perfect score. Wow. But again, how you just wake up in the morning and just do that?
Well,
It's professional.
It does look professional.
I was gonna say you don't know who's the professional. And, like,
Thank
let's just say you
you.
have no clue who's who. You're like, wait, who's
the yeah?
And that's who wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
we're gonna go to Shangela.
Oh, you want to do that? Because I know we got a couple others. I know we had. You guys tell us where you want to go. I mean,
Shangela.
You want to talk about Shangela? Yeah, because the movie Shangela. Oh, is this? This is them, right? No, was it? Yeah, yeah. Shangela and Glenn. Oh, okay, gotcha. It's their first. Okay.
So he still doesn't look as smooth and polished as Charlie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different dance, obviously, but still, you should be able to tell who's the professional. I mean, who's not.
Yeah, exactly. So the pair ended up in the bottom two for the first time. Their final score in this one, 36.
Yeah, I'm not
out of
impressed
40.
by that one.
Yeah. When we go to Gabby, let's see what's going on there. So this is Gabby and Val, and I'm just gonna let you see what the score is.
Okay. Because don't tell me. I like to guess.
Yeah. I like the song.
Me too. Man, he's kind of hot. He is.
Oh, Val's giving him a perfect score.
Val giving Val a perfect score. Yep. All right. So.
Okay.
All right. So 40 out of 40. Perfect.
That
score.
was out of
40.
Really?
Yep. There it is.
Okay.
All right. So we'll see what happens next season. Maybe it'll be Val and Val.
Oh, I thought you were
Dancing
going to
with the
say
Stars.
next season when we're hosting it.
Ooh.
Put it out there.
Better.
It's my
That's
motion
right.
for putting it in the
That's
universe.
putting it into the universe.
And it's an ABC show, Disney, like freshen it up.
Putting it into the universe. Hey, we're streaming out loud this morning. We'll take a quick break. We're back with more after this.
Well, hello there. Here we go on this Tuesday morning, Tuesday before Thanksgiving. It's cold. We are starting off with some mighty frosty conditions around the area this morning, but these temperatures are going to rebound. 21 right now in Morris and Pontiac, 26 degrees right now in Woodstock, 28 right now Little Village. It is 28 degrees in Lake Forest, 19 in Aurora and Sugar Grove. Can't seem to get those temperatures budging. 27 right now in Frankfort and 28 right now in Gary. Today, though, this afternoon, you'll forget about that frosty start. Highs today 50, several 50-degree days this week. Roz?
We have a new suburban crash. This is in Hinsdale at the intersection of Elm and Hickory. We're looking at 5 to 40-minute travel times on most of your inbound expressways. And we still have streets closed northwest side with this deadly fire on Sawyer north of Bloomingdale. Chopper 7, this fire is out. Right now, it's basically just cleanup and investigation. But one person was killed in this fire. One firefighter was injured. They've shortened the street closure now. Sawyer is closed between Wabansie and Cortland. But they still have the investigation to complete, and there still is some cleanup from the earlier fire in that 3-story structure. Valentine, back to you.
There's sweet one around here for ABC7. Thank you and farewell to our good friend, our buddy, Alan Krzyzewski.
That's right. Alan has spent 40 years here, anchoring every show here. But after tonight's 10 p.m. broadcast, he officially retires. Alan joined our entire morning team live during our 6 o'clock hour to reminisce about his career here. And here's a portion of his memorable visit with us.
Alan.
Good morning, everybody.
Krzyzewski, back on the morning show. Good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Terrell, I'm doing just fine. I'm listening to Roz talk, and I'm thinking, do I really talk that fast? Yes, I guess you do, Roz. So I'm glad to pass it on one person to another. Right? Oh, guys, you're terrific. Roz, thank you so much. That was wonderful to hear. And guys, yes, it's a bittersweet day for me. There's no question about that. It's been an incredible ride over 40 years' time. I couldn't be more fortunate than to have spent time with you guys and to be there in the morning, and then, of course, in the afternoons and now in the evenings as well. But I just got to tell you, I just appreciate you guys so much, but I also appreciate those who are watching this morning, because you guys have been there as well through those 40 years. I'm amazed whenever somebody will come up to me and they'll say, I've watched you my entire life. And I realize that they're like 50 years old. You know? And I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, I guess you would have been 12. Yeah, you did. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. So I'm so grateful, and thanks, you guys.
Alan, when you look at that young guy on the screen in the early days of his career, still, what would you tell that young guy back in the day right now?
You know what? And probably most of us could say this about our lives. You're going to go through something. You couldn't have written the script for this. You couldn't write this story yourself. And it's just amazing over years to see things unfold. Yes, we've had very challenging times, difficult times, but also great times too.
If I could ask Alan something, it's Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
A lot of folks may not know you actually started in weather, correct?
That's true, Tracy. When I started, you know what? Honestly, when I started in everything. You wanted a job, so you would attempt to do whatever they asked you to do. And I don't mean now at Channel 7, even before I was hired at WLS. I worked in Austin, Texas, and also in Binghamton, New York, while I was still in college at Ithaca College. So, but I got hired to do weekend sports and weather. Now, I know a little bit about sports, and I know nothing about the weather.
Except it's moving east.
Yeah, moving.
All matters.
Tracy and Roz are going to join us here, I think. Although that's our goodbye music. I think, are we going to pull them up? We were supposed to have 90.
Yeah,
Stand by. Here they are.
Hello.
Oh, ladies. I mean, Roz, Alan, I didn't know that story that you told earlier about not having any TV training, and you trained for a week with Alan because you came from radio before TV.
Yeah.
I was so intimidated too, because here, you know, in radio, it's such a revolving door, right? You work a couple of years, you're at another station, back and forth. And here's Alan, and when I started, he'd already been here 7 years. I'm like, oh my God, what is it like to be here 7 years? And now look at him, 40 years later. It's crazy.
Yeah. Look at that young right.
Tracy, you have probably an Alan story to share.
Well, you know what? My Alan story actually involves that man you see on the screen right now, too, Jerry Taft. Because the weather office on the 3rd floor is the corner office. It sounds so luxurious, right? Well, Alan's office is right next door to ours. And when he and Jerry would get together, the laughing, oh my gosh, those two had me crying, belly aching, cry so many times I can't even tell you. Yeah, wow. A lot of great memories.
Did he anchor with Oprah?
It looked like it from that video.
Yeah, it sure did. I didn't know. We didn't have a chance to ask him about that.
AM Chicago was next door before she left and started her empire. So I don't know, but Alan, you will surely be missed sitting right here every day.
Yeah. Much more on this throughout the day today here on ABC7. We're back in 90 seconds. All right, check out what they say is the world's largest Christmas tree. This is out in Germany. 147 feet tall, 48,000 lights. The angel on the top, 13 feet tall.
Is it the angel's 13 feet?
Uh-huh. Tree took 4 weeks to decorate.
Wow. Who's getting up there to put that tree top on that tree?
Ain't me getting up.
Oh, my.
Yeah. All right, so there it is. You can go to Germany to see it. We're back at this.
Eyewitness News, streaming at 7, continues after a break.
Oh, is this us? Okay. All right.
That is going to do it for us. Thank you so much for watching Eyewitness News at 7 a.m. Tanya she's already over there having ready for her news update. Tracy and Roz will talk weather and traffic during GMA.
Yep, going to hear from them in just a moment. From everyone here at ABC7, have a great day, everybody. Be back here again tomorrow.
On Eyewitness News, streaming at 7.